Let me tell you about Walt and the day he almost gave up his car keys for good over something that cost $20 to fix. Walt's in his 70s, sharp as a tack, been driving 50 plus years without a scratch. But over the last couple of years, night driving had started to scare him. The road ahead just looked dim, murky, like he was staring into a fog no matter how clear the night was. He figured it was his eyes. That's what we all figure, right? So he did the responsible thing. He booked an appointment with the eye doctor, and he told his daughter he thought maybe it was time to stop driving at night. This man was ready to give up part of his independence, his freedom, because he thought his eyes were failing him. And then I happened to walk past his car one evening, took one look at the front of it, and I knew it wasn't his eyes at all. Nothing was wrong with Walt's vision. His headlights were so yellowed and cloudy, they were throwing out maybe half the light they should. $20 and 20 minutes later, he called me nearly in tears. He said it was like someone turned the sun back on. By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what I did. Because here's the thing, almost nobody realizes. Those foggy, yellow, cloudy headlights you see on half the cars on the road, and maybe on yours right now, they aren't just ugly. They are quietly stealing your ability to see at night. And most people either drive around with them like that forever, or they get talked into paying hundreds of dollars for brand new headlights they never needed. So today I'm gonna show you how to make those cloudy headlights crystal clear again, yourself, for about the cost of a sandwich. But more important than that, I'm gonna show you the one step that almost every video and every person skips, the step that's the entire difference between headlights that stay clear and headlights that fog right back up in a month. And stay with me, because there are 2 headlight hacks going viral right now that will actually eat your headlights alive. One of them is sitting in your bathroom cabinet, the other's in your garage. I'll show you both and I'll show you what to do instead. Let me explain what's actually happening to those headlights first, because once you get this, everything else makes sense. Your headlights aren't glass. They're a tough, clear plastic called polycarbonate, and from the factory they come with a thin protective clear coating on the outside, a coating whose whole job is to block the sun's UV rays. Now think about where your headlights live. Out front, aimed at the sky, taking the full sun day after day, year after year, and over time all that UV slowly burns away that protective coating. Once that coating is gone, the bare plastic underneath is exposed and sunlight starts to oxidize it. That oxidation is the yellow, the cloudiness, the haze you're looking at. It's the plastic itself breaking down on the surface. And here's the part that turns this from a looks problem into a safety problem. The part that was happening to Walt. That cloudy oxidized layer scatters your headlights beam. Instead of a clean, bright light punching down the road, the light hits that hazy surface and diffuses in every direction, so far less of it actually reaches the road ahead of you. Testing on this has shown badly oxidized headlights can cut your usable light dramatically. So you're driving at night thinking the world got darker or your eyes got worse, when really your own headlights are choking off half their own light before it ever leaves the car. That was Walt's whole failing eyesight. It was oxidation. So let me show you how to actually fix it properly so it lasts. And I'll be honest, this takes a little elbow grease, about 15-20 minutes a headlight, but anybody can do it. First, wash the headlight with soap and water and dry it. Then, and don't skip this, take some painter's tape and tape off the paint all the way around the headlight, because you're about to sand and you do not want to touch your paint. Now, here's the core of it. You're gonna wet sand that oxidized layer right off. You get some sandpaper, you keep it and the headlight wet with water the whole time, and you start with a coarser grit to cut through the yellowed layer, then step up through finer and finer grits, keeping everything wet, sanding smooth and even. Now I need to warn you about something, because this is where people panic and quit. After you sand, your headlight is gonna look terrible, cloudy, frosted, worse than when you started. That is completely normal. Don't stop. That frosted look is just the fine scratches from sanding, and the next step erases them. You take a plastic polish or a rubbing compound and you buff that headlight by hand or with a drill attachment, and you watch it transform. All that frost clears away and the plastic comes back deep, clean, and glassy. And that's the moment people feel like a magician. That crusty yellow headlight is now clear. Real quick, everything I teach is in one guide. Don't get fleeced. Links in the description and pinned comment if you want it. Now here's the step that changes everything, the one nobody does, so don't you dare skip it. You just sanded and polished, right? Which means you just removed that oxidized layer, but you also removed whatever was left of that factory UV coating. So right now, your beautiful clear headlight has zero protection on it. It's bare plastic, naked to the sun. And if you stop here and walk away, that sun is going to oxidize it right back to yellow, sometimes in as little as a few weeks. This right here is why people say, I tried restoring my headlights and they fogged up again. They skipped this step. They didn't fail at restoring, they just never sealed it. So you have to put a new protective layer back on. You seal it with a UV resistant clear coat, either a wipe-on UV sealant or a UV clear coat spray made for this. That's the part that locks in your work and keeps it clear for a year, 2 years, sometimes longer. And honestly, this is exactly why I tell most people to just buy a headlight restoration kit for around 20, 25 bucks. Because a good kit comes with everything in order, the sanding pads and the right grits, the polish, and most importantly, that UV sealant at the end, all in one box, all idiot proof, no guessing, $20, 20 minutes, and you've done what the dealer wanted hundreds for. So whether you buy the pieces or buy the kit, burn this into your memory, clean, sand, polish, and seal, skip the seal, and you're just doing this again next month. Now let me get to those 2 viral hacks I promised you, because millions of people are doing these right now, thinking they found a shortcut, and both of them are damaging their headlights. The first one lives in your bathroom, toothpaste. Now, I'll be fair, because being fair is the point. Toothpaste is a mild abrasive. That's how it works on this. So rubbing it on a headlight does cut a little of the light oxidation, and on a very mildly hazy headlight, it'll make a small, real difference. So it's not a total lie, which is exactly why the videos rack up millions of views. But here's what they don't tell you. It's weak, it barely touches anything more than mild haze, and far more important, there is no UV seal. You rub the toothpaste on, it clears up a touch, everybody's amazed on camera, and then that bare plastic sits in the sun and fogs right back over in a couple weeks because nothing protected it. So toothpaste isn't a fix. At best, it's a temporary touch-up, and even then, you'd have to seal it after to mean anything. It's not the answer. It's half of 1 step out of 4. The second hack is the dangerous one, and it's in a lot of garages. Bug spray, insect repellent, the kind with DEET in it. People spray it on a foggy headlight and it looks like magic. The yellow just melts away and the plastic goes clear almost instantly. And here's the ugly truth behind that magic. DEET is a solvent. The reason that headlight clears is that the DEET is literally dissolving the surface of the plastic, melting it. You are not restoring your headlight, you are chemically eating it. It looks clear for a day or two because you just melted the top layer smooth, and then it comes back foggier, softer, and more damaged than ever because you've wrecked the surface of the polycarbonate and destroyed any protection it had left. Please don't put bug spray on your headlights. It's one of the worst things you can do to them. Dressed up is a miracle. If you want it clear, sand it, polish it, and seal it. That's the only version that actually lasts. Now let me give you the honest limits because I'm never going to oversell you. This whole process fixes oxidation, the yellowing and hazing on the outside surface of the lens, and that's the vast majority of foggy headlights out there. But there are a couple of cases where it won't help, and you deserve to know them. If your headlight is cracked or the plastic is damaged deep through, sanding the surface isn't going to save it. And here's a big one people get fooled by. If the fog or moisture is on the inside of the headlight, little water droplets, condensation trapped in there, that's a completely different problem. That's a bad seal in the housing, letting moisture in, and no amount of polishing, the outside will touch it because the problem's on the other side of the plastic. So before you start, look close. Is the haze on the surface where your finger touches, or is it trapped inside? Surface haze, you've got this. Internal moisture is a different fix entirely. And in the rare case, a headlight really is too far gone to restore. Here's how you make sure nobody robs you. A dealership will quote you a brand new headlight assembly, and those numbers are genuinely shocking. $300, $500, sometimes $700 or $800 a piece on some vehicles because they're selling you the whole housing plus their labor. But 9 times out of 10, you never needed the assembly, the guts were fine, only the lens was cloudy, and that's a $20 restore. And even when you do need parts, aftermarket options cost a fraction of the dealer price. So if anybody ever tells you a foggy headlight means hundreds of dollars for new ones, you now know, try the $20 restore first, every single time. I'd bet on it working. Let me also give you the habits to keep them clear once you've done the work, because a little prevention means you may never have to do this again. Whenever you seal them, keep an eye on them and reseal every year or two before the oxidation ever comes back. If you can, park facing away from the harshest sun, or in the shade or a garage when you can. The sun is the whole enemy here. And here's an easy one. When you wax your car, Run a little wax or sealant over the headlights too. It's a small extra layer of UV protection that helps hold off the oxidation, a little bit of upkeep, and those headlights stay clear and bright for years. So let me pull it all together, because it's simpler than it sounds. Foggy headlights are oxidation, the sun burning away the protective coating and hazing the plastic underneath, and it's quietly stealing your light at night. To fix it, clean it, tape around it, wet sand the haze off through finer and finer grits, polish it back to clear, and then the step everyone skips, seal it with a UV coating so it stays clear, or just grab a $20 kit that does all of that in order. Keep the toothpaste to a mild touch-up at most, keep the bug spray far, far away, and never pay a dealer hundreds for new headlights before you've tried the $20 fix. That's the whole thing. And here's what I really want you to sit with, because this one's bigger than a cosmetic touch-up. Walt was ready to stop driving at night. He was ready to hand back a piece of his freedom, the ability to go see his grandkids after dark, to drive himself home from dinner, to not have to ask anyone because he was convinced his body was failing him. And it wasn't. It was a $20 layer of oxidation on a piece of plastic. Think about how close that came. How many people out there right now are white knuckling it through every night drive, or quietly giving up driving after dark, blaming their age or their eyes, when the truth is their headlights are choking off half their own light, and it's fixable in an afternoon for the price of lunch. That's the part that stays with me. This stuff isn't vanity. Being able to see the road at night is one of the most important things your car does for you, and nobody should lose that or pay hundreds for it over something a little sandpaper and a $20 kit can fix. That's the whole reason I make these. So the simple things that actually matter stop being a secret kept from you. Everything else like this, every cheap fix, is this a ripoff? Answer for your whole car is sitting in that guide down in the description and the pinned comment if you want it all in one place in your pocket. Now, do me a favor before you go, hit that like button if this opened your eyes to something on your own car. It genuinely helps this reach the next person out there squinting through a dim windshield at night, thinking it's their eyes when it's their headlights. You might just give someone their night driving back. And tell me two things down in the comments. First, go look at your own headlights right now and come back and tell me clear, a little hazy, or full on yellow and cloudy. I want to know how many of you had no idea. And second, what do you want next? Should I show you how to fix that foggy moisture trapped inside a headlight, or the easy way to aim your headlights so they actually light up the road? You pick it, I'll build it. And subscribe, because I've got a whole garage full of these coming. The cheap fixes, the honest tricks, and the truth the dealership would honestly rather you never learned. Thank you for trusting me. And thank you for sticking with me all the way to the end. I'll see you in the next one.